Imagine this. Two Hollywood superstars, their faces plastered across every screen, trading hilarious jabs and playful pranks that make fans go wild. Their friendship feels like the real deal, a bromance that's too good to be true. But what if it is? What if behind the laughter and viral moments there's a hidden truth so dark it could shatter everything we thought we knew? Today, we're peeling back the curtain on the explosive drama between Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds. Allegations of bullying, manipulation, and even career sabotage are rocking Hollywood, and the charming nice guy image Reynolds has built might be nothing but a facade. This story is juicy, it's shocking, and it's got twists you won't see coming. So stick with me until the very end, because you're not going to want to miss a single second of this. Let's set the stage. Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds have been the kings of Hollywood's buddy comedy act for over a decade. It all kicked off back in 2009 when they worked together on X-Men Origins' Wolverine. Their on-screen chemistry was electric, but it was their off-screen antics that really stole the show. From fake feud videos to roasting each other on social media, they created a public persona of two pals who loved nothing more than poking fun at each other. Reynolds would mock Jackman's Wolverine claws or his Broadway singing, and Jackman would fire back with a quip about Deadpool's endless chatter. Fans couldn't get enough. Every tweet, every interview, every staged prank was gold. It felt like we were watching two best friends having the time of their lives. But now, insiders are saying that friendship was never what it seemed. The truth? It might be a one-sided game with Reynolds calling all the shots. Here's where it gets real. Sources close to Jackman reveal that their dynamic was anything but equal. Hugh Jackman is a legend in the industry, known for his kindness, professionalism, and ability to make everyone on set feel valued. He's the guy who remembers the crew's names and shares the spotlight without hesitation. Ryan Reynolds, meanwhile, has crafted a persona as the quick-witted, self-deprecating everyman. His charm and humor have made him a fan favorite, but behind closed doors, insiders claim he's obsessed with control. He had to be the funniest, the loudest, the one who always came out on top. If Jackman tried to shift the focus during an interview, Reynolds would interrupt and steer it back to himself. If Jackman wanted to dial back their public feud, Reynolds would double down, posting another jab or staging another prank to keep the game going. Jackman, ever the professional, played along. But it wasn't as fun as it looked. At first, Jackman didn't mind too much. He's known for his easygoing nature, and he genuinely liked Reynolds, or at least the version of Reynolds he saw in public. Their feud was a marketing dream, especially when they reunited for Deadpool and Wolverine. The movie was a massive hit, and their off-screen banter only made it bigger. Fans loved watching Wolverine and Deadpool trade insults, and the press, tours were packed with hilarious moments. But behind the scenes, sources say Jackman was starting to feel trapped. Reynolds' relentless need to dominate every moment was exhausting. It wasn't just about being funny, it was about control. Jackman felt like he was being used, not as a friend, but as a prop in Reynolds' carefully curated brand. The bromance that fans adored. It was starting to feel like a performance Jackman couldn't escape. Now let's talk about the moment that changed everything. During the Deadpool and Wolverine press tour, Reynolds pulled a stunt that crossed a line. He used a promotional event to publicly mock actor Justin Baldoni, known for "It Ends With Us." The jab was harsh, uncalled for, and left many people uncomfortable. Baldoni wasn't even involved in the project, but Reynolds saw an opportunity to make himself the center of attention and took it. Jackman, who was part of the skit, reportedly didn't want any part of it. He's always been about building people up, not tearing them down. Sources say he tried to push back, but Reynolds wouldn't budge. He pressured Jackman to go along with it, refusing to let him opt out. Jackman reluctantly played his role, but it left him shaken. That moment was a wake-up call. He started to see Reynolds not as a friend, but as someone who'd do anything to stay in the spotlight, even if it meant hurting others. This wasn't a one-off. Insiders claim Reynolds has a long history of controlling behavior that goes way beyond his feud with Jackman. Let's go back to the Deadpool franchise, which turned Reynolds into a global superstar. The first Deadpool movie, directed by Tim Miller, was a game-changer. It smashed box office records, revived Reynolds' career, and proved he could carry a blockbuster. Everyone expected Miller to return for the sequel, but then he was gone. The official story was creative differences, but the real story is much uglier. Sources say Miller and Reynolds clashed over the film's direction. Miller wanted to stay true to the bold, gritty vision that made the first movie a hit. Reynolds, however, wanted total control. He didn't just want to star in the movie, he wanted to call every shot. When Miller wouldn't back down, Reynolds used his growing influence to push him out. Miller, the director who'd helped make Deadpool a billion-dollar success, was sidelined, and Reynolds got his way. But directors weren't the only ones who felt Reynolds' power plays. Morena Baccarin, who played Vanessa in the first Deadpool, was a standout. Her chemistry with Reynolds was a huge part of the movie's heart, and fans loved her. But when Deadpool 2 rolled around, her role was slashed. Vanessa was killed, off early, and Baccarin's screen time was reduced to almost nothing. At the time, it seemed like a bold, creative choice, but insiders now say it was deliberate. Reynolds didn't want a romantic subplot taking any focus away from his performance. He wanted the spotlight all to himself. Even worse, sources claim Baccarin wasn't told about the change until it was too late. She was blindsided, and her role in the franchise was diminished. It's a move that left fans confused, and Baccarin understandably frustrated. Then there's the story of a makeup artist who worked on one of Reynolds' films. She couldn't make it to reshoots due to a scheduling conflict, a common issue in the industry. Most stars would understand, but not Reynolds. According to reports, he lost it. He didn't just get mad. He threatened to destroy her career. Sources say he told her she'd never work in Hollywood again if she didn't drop everything to meet his demands. This wasn't a one-time outburst. Multiple people have shared similar stories over the years. Reynolds, they say, has a vindictive streak. If you don't do exactly what he wants, he'll find a way to make you pay. Whether it's cutting you out of a project or spreading word that you're difficult, he knows how to use his influence to get even. It's a side of Reynolds that doesn't match the charming, relatable guy we see in interviews. One of the most jaw-dropping accounts comes from T.J. Miller, who played Weasel in the Deadpool movies. On screen, Miller and Reynolds were comedy gold. Their banter was a highlight of the films, and fans assumed they were friends off-screen too. But in a shocking interview, Miller dropped a bombshell. He said Reynolds constantly belittled him, on set, making cruel jokes that went far beyond their scripted lines. At first, Miller tried to brush it off, thinking it was just part of the job, but it kept happening. Reynolds would mock Miller in front of the entire crew, making snide remarks about his career and implying he wasn't good enough for the franchise. It wasn't playful. It was personal. Miller eventually had enough and said he'd never work with Reynolds again. The experience left him feeling disrespected and drained, and it made fans question everything they thought they knew about Reynolds' nice guy vibe. So, where does Hugh Jackman fit into this mess? Jackman has been one of Reynolds' closest industry allies for over a decade. He's seen things most people haven't. Sources say he's witnessed Reynolds' controlling behavior up close, not just with him, but with co-stars, directors, and crew members. Jackman watched as Reynolds dominated sets, shut down anyone who challenged him, and pushed out people who didn't play by his rules. For years, Jackman stayed quiet. He laughed off the public feud, played along with the bromance, and let Reynolds have his moment. He didn't want to cause drama or hurt Reynolds' image. But now, things are changing. With allegations stacking up against Reynolds, Jackman is reportedly done covering for him. He stepped back, refusing to engage in their staged feud or keep up the act. The bromance is over, and Jackman's silence speaks volumes. Here's where the stakes get sky high. Rumors are swirling that Jackman could be pulled into a lawsuit involving Reynolds. The details are still hush-hush, but multiple sources say Jackman might be called as a witness. If that happens, his testimony could be a turning point. Jackman isn't just any witness. He's one of Hollywood's most beloved and respected stars. He's worked closely with Reynolds for years, both on and off set. He's seen the real Reynolds, the one behind the charm and the jokes. If Jackman speaks out about what he's witnessed, it could unravel Reynolds' entire career. The nice guy persona, the witty charm, the relatable humor, it could all be exposed as a carefully crafted act. Jackman's words would carry serious weight, and Hollywood is buzzing with anticipation over what he might say. Why did Jackman stay quiet for so long? It's a question a lot of people are asking. Some believe he didn't want to risk his own reputation. Jackman has built a career on being the good guy, and calling out a friend could have sparked backlash or drama he didn't need. Others think he felt stuck in the bromance narrative. Fans loved it, and breaking that illusion might have hurt his own brand. Plus, Jackman probably liked Reynolds in the beginning. He might have hoped things would improve, that Reynolds would ease up on the control. But as the years went on, and Reynolds' behavior got worse, Jackman realized the truth. This wasn't a friendship. It was a power struggle, and Reynolds was using him to stay on top. Now, with a potential lawsuit looming, Jackman might not have a choice but to speak out. Let's zoom out for a second and look at Reynolds' personal life, because the drama doesn't stop with his professional behavior. Reynolds and Blake Lively are Hollywood's picture-perfect couple. Their flirty social media posts, stunning red carpet appearances, and glimpses of their family life have fans obsessed. They seem like the ultimate power couple, trading witty banter and living a dream life. But some insiders are starting to question whether it's all too good to be true. There are whispers that their marriage is more about branding than love. Some even claim Lively is a beard, a partner chosen to hide someone's true sexuality. These rumors have been floating around for years, but they're picking up steam now as Reynolds' image takes a hit. Whether there's truth to it or not, the speculation is adding another layer to the chaos surrounding Reynolds. There's also talk of tension involving Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni, the same actor Reynolds mocked in that infamous skit. Sources claim Lively and Baldoni share a deep emotional connection, one that's caused friction behind closed doors. This only fuels the rumors about Reynolds' marriage. If his personal life starts to unravel alongside his professional one, it could be catastrophic. Meanwhile, Hugh Jackman is moving forward with his own life. After separating from his wife of 27 years, he's reportedly dating his Broadway co-star Sutton Foster. Their relationship, described as an emotional affair, started around the same time these allegations about Reynolds began surfacing. Is it a coincidence? Or is Jackman distancing himself from the drama in every way possible? Either way, it's another twist in this wild story. So what does this all mean for Ryan Reynolds? Right now, he's facing a storm of allegations: bullying, manipulation, career sabotage. His carefully crafted image as Hollywood's lovable, funny man is cracking, and with Jackman potentially speaking out, things could get much worse. If Jackman testifies in this lawsuit, it could set off a chain reaction. Other actors, directors, and crew members who've stayed silent might feel safe to share their own stories. More lawsuits could pop up. More secrets could spill. Reynolds, the guy who built his career on making people laugh, could find himself at the heart of one of Hollywood's biggest scandals. His charm, his likability, his entire empire, it's all at risk, and one misstep could bring it crashing down. But let's play devil's advocate for a moment. Is it possible Reynolds isn't the villain here? Could this all be a misunderstanding? Blown out of proportion? Hollywood is a competitive world, and not every conflict is a scandal. Reynolds has spent years building his persona as the relatable, down-to-earth guy. His fans adore him, and he's got a loyal following that might stand by him no matter what. Maybe his pranks and jabs were just his way of having fun, and he didn't realize how they landed. Maybe the people speaking out are exaggerating or misinterpreting his actions. After all, being a star comes with pressure, and not everyone handles it perfectly. Could Reynolds just be a guy who loves a good joke and doesn't always know when to stop? It's possible. But with so many stories piling up, it's getting harder to believe. Let's dig a little deeper into Reynolds' past, because this isn't the first time he's faced criticism. Before Blake Lively, Reynolds was married to Scarlett Johansson. Their marriage from 2008 to 2011 was high profile, but it ended quietly. At the time, there wasn't much public drama, but Johansson has hinted over the years that Reynolds wasn't always the easiest partner. Sources close to the couple say their split came as Johansson's career was skyrocketing. She was becoming a major star, and some speculate Reynolds struggled with her success. He quickly moved on to Blake Lively, and their relationship became the shiny, perfect brand we see today. But Johansson's subtle comments and the timing of their divorce raise questions. Was Reynolds' need for control a factor in their breakup? It's another piece of the puzzle that makes you wonder what's really going on behind the scenes. Back to the present, the allegations against Reynolds are starting to paint a clearer picture. Take the Deadpool franchise again. Beyond Tim Miller and Morena Baccarin, there are other stories of people who felt pushed out or sidelined. Crew members have spoken anonymously about Reynolds' intense need to micromanage everything on set. From script changes to camera angles, he wanted his hands on every detail. At first, it seemed like passion for the project, but over time, it became clear it was about power. Anyone who didn't fall in line risked being cut out. It's a pattern. That's hard to ignore, especially when you hear the same story from so many different people. Another disturbing claim involves Reynolds' behavior towards smaller players in the industry. One insider shared a story about a young actor who worked on a Reynolds film. The actor, new to Hollywood, was excited to be part of the project. But when they made a small mistake during a scene, Reynolds allegedly humiliated them in front of the cast and crew. Instead of offering guidance, he made a biting comment about their inexperience and suggested they didn't belong on set. The actor was crushed, and their confidence took a hit that lasted months. Stories like this aren't just about a bad day. They point to a deeper issue. Reynolds, it seems, doesn't just want to win. He wants others to feel small so he can feel big. Now, let's circle back to Hugh Jackman, because his role in this saga is crucial. Jackman isn't just a bystander. He's someone who's been in the trenches with Reynolds for years. He's seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. Sources say Jackman has stories of his own, moments where Reynolds' behavior crossed lines that couldn't be ignored. But Jackman's hesitation to speak out publicly shows how complicated this is. He's not the type to throw someone under the bus, especially someone he's worked with so closely. Yet, with a lawsuit potentially forcing his hand, he might not have a choice. If Jackman takes the stand, it could be the moment that changes everything. His reputation for honesty and integrity would make his words impossible to dismiss, and Reynolds' career could take a hit he can't recover from. What makes this scandal so gripping is how it challenges everything we thought we knew about Reynolds. For years, he's been the guy we all wanted to grab a beer with. His interviews are hilarious, his social media is gold, and his movies are a blast. He's marketed himself as the ultimate good guy, someone who doesn't take himself too seriously and always has a smile. But if these allegations are true, that image is a lie. The real Reynolds, according to insiders, is insecure, controlling, and willing to step on anyone to stay on top. It's a classic Hollywood story. The star who seems perfect on the outside, but hides a darker side. And with Jackman potentially ready to pull back the curtain, we might finally see the truth. Let's talk about the bigger picture for a second. Hollywood is no stranger to scandals, but this one feels different. It's not just about one bad decision or a single moment of weakness. It's about a pattern of behavior that's been hidden for years, protected by Reynolds' charm and the industry's willingness to look the other way. If Jackman speaks out, it could inspire others to do the same. Actors, directors, crew members who felt silenced might find the courage to share their experiences. The floodgates could open, and Reynolds could face a wave of new accusations. It's not just his career at stake, it's the entire persona he's built. If that crumbles, it could change how we see him forever. But there's another side to consider. Reynolds isn't without his defenders. His fans are fiercely loyal, and many see him as a victim of overblown gossip. Social media is already buzzing, with people saying the allegations are exaggerated or even made up. They point to his charity work, his wholesome family life, and his track record of making people laugh. To them, Reynolds is still the guy who brought Deadpool to life, who makes gin commercials that go viral, who seems like he'd be a blast to hang out with. And in fairness, not every story about Reynolds is negative. Some co-stars and crew members have praised his work ethic and creativity. Could this be a case of a few unhappy people blowing things out of proportion? It's possible, but the sheer number of allegations makes it hard to dismiss entirely. As we wrap up, let's think about what's next. This story is far from over, and the coming months could be pivotal. If Jackman testifies, it could be a career-defining moment for both men. For Reynolds, it's a fight to save his reputation. For Jackman, it's a chance to set the record straight and move on. Either way, Hollywood is watching closely. Scandals like this don't just fade away, they leave a mark. If the truth comes out, Reynolds could lose more than just his bromance with Jackman. His status as Hollywood's golden boy, his blockbuster, career, his carefully crafted brand, it's all on the line. But if he can weather the storm, he might come out stronger, proving he's more than the accusations against him. You've made it to the end of this wild ride, and I'm so glad you stuck around. This drama is just heating up, and there's so much more to uncover. If you're as hooked as I am, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next chapter. Drop a comment below. Do you think Reynolds is hiding a dark side, or is this all just Hollywood gossip gone wild? Let's keep the conversation going. And if you loved this deep dive, give the video a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.